Next, it is my honor to introduce the president of our student government to share a unique perspective on the journey of the class of 2023. Ryan Wheelock is a graduate student at Husson University who is working towards a doctorate in physical therapy degree and Master of Business Administration with a concentration in healthcare administration. He anticipates completing his studies in May of 2024. He grew up in Augusta, Maine and attended Coney High School. Over his 5 years at Husson, Wheelock has served as the president of student government and the organization of physical therapy students. He has also been the student representative on the university's Board of Trustees, with over 800 hours of community service and thousands of dollars in funds raised. He is an example as an active member of our university family. One of his proudest accomplishments was creating a pop-up food pantry on campus to address food insecurity. He is the best of what we know is a Husson student. And we know that during these difficult years of the pandemic, you have not shied away from serving and serving others with dignity and character. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Wheelock to the podium as he shares his thoughts.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. I'm both proud and more than a little nervous to be speaking to all of you today on such an important day. Over my 5 years here at Husson, I've seen the class of 2023 grow. I remember when many of you excitedly participated in campus tours, open houses, and accepted students' days. How on your first days you wandered around campus, lost in halls trying to find classes. But I've also seen you all evolve into leaders. You become team captains, club presidents, and most importantly, role models to the classes below you. As leaders, many of you have dedicated significant amounts of time to improving our community through community service. President Theodore Roosevelt once said, "This country will not be a good place to live unless all of us make it a good place for all of us to live." From what I've seen, the class of 2023 has made the decision to take on the challenges of today to make the world a better place. In preparation for this speech, I asked Student Life to provide me with a list of all the community service organizations that this class has helped serve. As individuals, clubs, and teams, you have volunteered thousands of hours both on and off campus, working with nearly 40 different community-based organizations. For that, I think you all deserve a round of applause. While I'm not going to go through the entire list of initiatives you have supported here at Husson University, there are a few things I wanted to highlight because they show the different ways that you help support the community. First, I want to talk about how so many of you give yourselves to help others. Every year, our campus radio station, WHSN, sponsors a blood drive with the American Red Cross. Every donor's contribution to the blood drive can help save 3 lives. These 3 people may not be anybody you know, and likely won't be anybody you'll ever meet, but they are somebody's parent, sibling, partner, or child. Those of you in the crowd who donated blood gave more than just blood, you gave the gift of life. In the same vein, pun intended, that many of the students in this class organized and participated in the Be the Match drive, a painless cheek swab that matches those in need of bone marrow and stem cell transplants with healthy donors. When asked why she got swabbed, a pharmacy student said, "It's not going to hurt you, and it's going to help somebody else in need, so why not?" This response is typical of the selflessness that I have witnessed from many of you graduating today. From climate change to social justice, rather than ignore the challenges of today, this class takes them on and asks, "What can I do?" A shining example of this can-do attitude is the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. During the Day of Service, students and Student Life staff served a number of organizations and community partners. This included packing meals at Good Shepherd Food Bank, lending a knee at the Bangor Recovery Network, and feeding hungry animals at the local Humane Society. Dr. King was a man who believed that we could change the world through nonviolent means. He envisioned a society where every citizen could celebrate their unique identities within a culture that not only respected everybody's differences, but valued them. While we have yet to fully recognize Dr. King's dream, events like this show that this class is headed in the right direction. Projects that I personally found inspirational were those where the class of 2023 came together to help others who may not be as fortunate as we are. The generosity of these Husson students extends well beyond the borders of our campus. Students from the class of 2023 supported the Bangor Area Homeless Shelter through the annual Walk for Warmth event. Proceeds from the walk help fund the Winter Warming Center that provides refuge to community members experiencing homelessness. In addition, students from the class of 2023 assembled health and hygiene kits for women and gave them to the shelter. 500 bars of soap, 300 bottles of shampoo, hundreds of toothbrushes, combs, deodorant, and other items made their way into needy hands thanks to these students. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the support this class has given to their fellow Husson students. In 2021, a survey conducted by Maine Policy Review found that over 30% of college students experience moderate or severe food insecurity. Given that Husson University has the highest percentage of Pell-eligible and first-generation students in the state, public or private, we could reasonably expect the number of students facing food insecurity here to be even greater. Recognizing the difficulty of focusing on your studies while worrying about your next meal, the class of 2023 empowered their student representatives to create a pop-up food pantry where fellow students in need could get free, nutritious food, no questions asked. In an effort to support their fellow students and the generations that follow, many members of this graduating class have participated in the annual class gift campaign for the university. Each of these students donated $20.23. While individually that may not sound like much, when put all together, this class gift can make a big difference. By supporting academic programs, student groups, and initiatives like the Food Insecurity or Emergency Financial Aid Fund, you have ensured that you will leave Husson a better place off than when you arrived. The American cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." As I see it, this is what makes all of you, the class of 2023, special. You're a class that believes in helping others rather than just helping yourselves. You're not willing to wait for somebody else to create change, but instead you choose to make it. Inside each of you is the ability to make a real difference, and that's exactly what you've been doing. The challenges we have all faced together make us strong. As I look out at the faces of everybody here today, I see hope, courage, and empathy. You are members of a class that can right the wrongs of the past and create a more fair and just society. You have already seen and overcome adversity, and you know what it takes to persevere regardless of the cards you've been dealt. I'm proud and humbled to have served as your student government president. Please accept my thanks for all that you have done and all you will continue to do after you graduate. If we all do our part, we can make the world a better place for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for
proud of him.
the distinctive services of the class of 2023.